Hi everybody, welcome back to the 7-Day Health Reset. Today we're going to be talking about a really practical topic. We're going to be talking about substitutions in food.
Yeah, so substitutions in food are really important because really the rule number one for nutrition is crowding out, is taking foods that you normally eat that are not so great and crowding them out with better foods. That is really how you solve any nutritional issues or metabolic issues that you're really having.
Yeah, and I'll tell you from experience, when we first met, I really didn't know too much about nutrition and health and whatnot and all like the nitty gritty. And we did a lot of crowding out in the beginning, right?
Yeah.
Josh taught me so much, and we had to change and substitute and crowd out, push away, add new things. So it could be a little daunting at times, but it's totally worth it. And we're going to tell you amazing substitutions that really don't even feel that different, honestly.
Yeah, I remember it was like, I think 2 weeks into when we were married, and we were going to buy some cooking oil.
Right.
And so Shira was very used to using, like your vegetable oils or your margarines. And I was like, no, we've got to do things a little bit differently, and we got to start off on a good foot. I introduced Shira to extra virgin olive oil and to coconut oil and to just better oils. And that's just one example of many, but it makes a huge difference when it comes to metabolic health and causing oxidative stress in the body, which can lead to many diseases. Good oils are very important, but we'll get into some more foods here.
Yeah. So let's jump into substitutions. What would you say is like the number one? Like if you're brand new on this journey, what's like the number one thing that you should start substituting?
So I feel like sugar is definitely that number one thing that we always run into. When it comes to drinks, I mean, I talk to my patients about drinks all the time and what they can do differently. So let's say my patient is drinking like a lot of sodas or juice, iced tea.
Sports drinks,
yeah.
Big culprit.
So one of the things you can do is really make your own drinks, and very simply. One of the things you can do is you take some water, you squeeze a half a lemon inside, and you add some organic stevia inside, and that makes it really nice drink. You could add some seltzer in if you want some carbonation, maybe a little bit of cranberry juice instead of lemon, or some tart cherry juice, just a little bit, and you just add the rest water. You can brew, Shira does this all the time, brew some teas. It just doesn't even need to heat it up, just puts a bunch of nice...
Get a whole big pitcher, put in your water, add some stevia, some ice cubes, put in your tea bags, let it sit for a bit, and you have like a delicious, refreshing, healthy drink on a hot summer day.
Yeah, and it's so simple, and you're getting rid of teaspoons and teaspoons of sugar. People don't realize, but if you look at, let's say, one of those juices or sodas, you got, let's say 4 grams of sugar equals 1 teaspoon of sugar. A lot of these drinks have upwards to like 40 grams of sugar. That's 10 teaspoons of sugar. You would never put 10 teaspoons of sugar in even in your bitter coffee. And here in these sports drinks and juices and sodas, yeah. Another thing we really like is something called Zevia. So Zevia is a soda made with stevia. So I wouldn't drink tons of it, but like if you're drinking a lot of soda, it's definitely a much better alternative. You're crowding out a lot of those sugars.
And there's no artificial colors in it. It's clear, but it has different flavors.
Right, it's totally natural. I would never recommend anything that wasn't. And another thing is, so people think, oh, I don't want to eat sugar or drink sugar. I'm going to get something that's sugar-free. And you got to be very careful because a lot of those things have Splenda, which also says sucralose in the ingredients. So be careful for that. Aspartame is a bad one. So couple things that we do know, Splenda causes a lot of gut issues. It also leads to weight gain, believe it or not. People end up just filling in the calories anyways with Splenda. And then we see with aspartame that it causes a lot of neurological issues. So you definitely want to stay away from a lot of these artificial sweeteners and go for natural sweeteners like stevia, monk fruit extract. You know, some people use erythritol. So a lot of these things are great, but there's also even things that contain sugar but are better alternatives than your high fructose corn syrup, which has been shown to cause even more weight gain than regular sugar, even with the same amounts of calories or grams of sugar. But you could use, and Shira does this in baking. You could talk about it a little bit.
Okay, so we're going to move on to baking now.
Yeah.
So baking was a big struggle for me because I love baking. But since I met Josh and, you know, we had our health journey together, I've actually come to love healthy baking. Like I get like really excited about healthy baking, and I love when I can bake something that tastes delicious and amazing and like wouldn't even know that it's really chock full of healthy ingredients. So if we're talking about sweeteners, right? Instead of using sugar, you can bake with bananas, you can bake with dates. So those are, you can bake with applesauce, right? Unsweetened applesauce. So those are like the three fruits that I would say that we use a lot. And then if you really need like a sugar, right? You can do organic coconut sugar. You can do date syrup. You can do maple syrup. There's like a monk fruit extract out there. There's monk fruit. That's what we use sometimes. There's so many different alternatives, and they really taste great. You know, I have this amazing recipe that I make that my kids love, the chocolate monkey bread. Yeah. And it's with almond flour, which is, you know, we'll also talk about the flours as substitute. Yeah. It's with almond flours and dates, and it is so delicious. It's amazing. My kids love it. Yeah. So those are the different sweeteners that I typically use in baking. And then for the flours, you know, you have almond flour, you have your gluten-free blends, you have coconut flour. So they have different textures. You know, like I personally don't love the coconut flour texture, but maybe you would love it. I love almond flour texture more. And then there's also just, you know, you can buy that, you know, 1 cup for 1 cup gluten-free flour blends. That's also wonderful. And sometimes you can't even tell the difference. So there's so many different options out there. You know, this is not like, you know, 1990, you know, when there was nothing. We have so many different things you can substitute, and your kids won't even know. People won't know. And there's great, and for chocolate chips for baking also, that's also important because a lot of chocolate chips are chock filled with sugar or, you know, very not healthy. But there are great brands that are healthy. Like Enjoy Life is a good brand, right?
Even the Trader Joe's chocolate chips,
right? The ones
that's 72% cocoa,
right? So you want to get a higher cocoa content and a lower sugar content. Yeah. But there's so many brands out there that have great healthy chocolate chips. You want to go for that higher cocoa content.
Yeah. So a lot of what Shira is talking about is actually finding things that are nutritionally dense and calorie light. So that's actually a great principle from Joel Furman. MD. So he talks a lot about dates have a lot of fiber, have a lot of vitamins and minerals. It's not just sugar, right? You've got a lot of other nutrients. Bananas have a ton of potassium in there. You know, so a lot, even things like organic maple syrup have other vitamins and minerals in there. It's not just empty calories. So it's better. So the idea is really, and the flours too, coconut flour, almond flour, they have a lot of other nutrients in there. Coconut has a lot of has these MCT oils, which are great for the brain and great for the mitochondria. Almond flour has vitamin E. Almonds have a lot of vitamin E, which is great for antioxidant health, great for the skin also.
And maybe a little bit of protein? Or
That's another thing, right? So almond flour has a lot of protein in it too. So
there's also oats. A lot of times I like to use oat flour. You can grind up your oats, and oat is actually I love using that flour in baking.
Oats have beta glucan, which are great for the immune system. So the concept is that you're taking something which was very high in calories, low in nutrition, and you're substituting for something that is lower in calories and higher in nutrition. That's really what you're going for. And so you don't have to sacrifice taste. Like Shira said, the recipes are delicious. And I think we're going to, as a bonus, we'll share a few of those recipes with you also and include them in the package. But those are just a few things. Going from baking is bread, right? So bread, you know, a lot of people are sensitive to gluten. You may not be fully allergic and have celiac disease, but you may be sensitive to gluten. You can go for other gluten-free options. You have to be careful. Some of them have a lot of sugar, but there's things that are made with like millets and oats. What
has a lot of sugar?
The gluten-free, a lot of the gluten-free breads have sugar, so you got to be careful. So,
like the processed breads, you're saying that you would
buy? That you buy in the store, but you know you could get things made with millet and oats, and you know those are just better quality. But let's say you're not sensitive to gluten, even then you want to get better quality breads. So like Ezekiel bread, it's sprouted grain bread. It's alive. Like they actually take the grains and they re-sprout them, and they have a lot more nutrition than just a lot of these breads you buy. And you got to be careful. Even it's whole wheat bread. They had a lot of bad oils in there, and also I'll say whole wheat, but it's not 100% whole wheat.
Ooh,
so you got to be very, very careful with substitutions. I'm here. I'm here to help you, so you can contact me, and you know, I can give you some suggestions with that. I guess we could talk about dairy.
Oh yeah, there's so many dairy alternatives these days. You can get like non-dairy everything: cream cheese, shredded cheese,
ice cream,
and there's even a brand that has sugar-free ice cream that's sweetened with erythritol.
Yeah.
So it's not like sweetened with Splendor or anything. There's so many options out there.
Yeah.
Of how to eat healthy and still enjoy life.
Yeah, and the thing is with ice cream, you think, let's say you're okay with dairy for some reason. So, okay, I'm gonna get ice cream because I'm okay with dairy. They have so many bad oils. They add high fructose corn syrup, artificial flavors and colors, and all this garbage and binders and stuff. You want to get a better ice cream that's made with, if you're getting dairy, the only ingredients are like milk, sugar, and cream, like very, very plain. The ingredients that you can't pronounce, you want to stay away from those. Even with the ice cream alternative, the dairy alternatives, you got to be careful also to make sure you get good things. You don't want to get anything with soy protein isolates, with a lot of gums and stuff. You want to get things that are more real, like, so you're getting coconut ice cream. You recognize the ingredients, right? It has coconut cream and coconut milk and organic, you know, cane sugar. So like, you got to make sure that the ingredients are real. The less processed, the better for your body. You know, and then same with the cheeses. Even within dairy, there's better dairy. So A2 is a different type of casein. So you've got A1 and A2 casein proteins. So within dairy, you want to make sure, if you can, it's A2. And goat and sheep milk and cheese are always going to be A2, but within cows, there's also A2. It just works better with our intestinal tract, with our microbiome, just better with our body in general.
So what should people be looking for on the label? First of all, is everybody familiar with this, what you're talking about? You want to explain a little bit more, and then how they can find it on the label?
Yeah, it's honestly, you want to go to like a health food store first of all, and see what options they have before you go to supermarket. You'll learn over time, but you'll see it'll say like A2 casein. You'll see goat cheese. You'll see sheep cheese, like sheep feta, and also you want to try to get grass fed. So that's really important. And also within dairy, there's also fermented stuff. So you have your kefirs, your yogurts. So those are great. Just be careful again for the sugars in those products. But you guys are kind of getting the idea of things. It's impossible to go through all the details. But the idea is to like look for things that are less processed. Let's see. And this is a great book. It's called Eat Dirt. It's by Josh Axe. And he gives a lot of great substitutions, and that's where I take a lot of this stuff from. Salad dressing, oh my gosh, that's a big one.
Yeah, definitely. I don't love particularly making salad dressings, but there are so many healthy alternatives that you can do that you can make simply at home. And there are some store brands that are healthier than others, but
you can make at home. I mean, very simple. Very simple. Extra virgin olive oil, balsamic vinegar, some herbs, maybe some crushed garlic if you want. Very, very easy to do at home. You can make even your mayonnaise-based dressings, but you get a good mayonnaise. You get an avocado mayonnaise, right? So the point is that you know what's going in there. You buy these salad dressings on the shelf that are not refrigerated. I'm telling you, they're loaded with terrible ingredients. And so the last thing I would talk about is like animal products. First of all, you don't want to do too much of them. You could do a lot of plant-based alternatives, right?
Oh yeah,
like what we do at home.
We do a lot of beans, rice and beans. We do
lentils,
right? Right. You know, there's tofu. You know, there's so many different. There's seitan. Again, that's gluten, but you know, it's a healthier option for some people. Tempeh.
But people think that they can get their protein and be plant-based. It's not true.
Oh no, yeah, no, you definitely can, 100%.
Yeah, beans, all legumes, right? Nuts and seeds are protein. People don't realize that there's protein within vegetables.
Right.
Very good. I'm not telling you to go vegan at all, but we eat way too much animal protein, animal products. So when you choose animal products, you want to get good quality animal products. Of course,
exactly. No hormones, 100%, right? Grass-fed. If you can get organic, that's always best.
Right. No antibiotics. Right. So the meat should be grass-fed. The fish should not be farm-raised. They should be wild-caught. The chicken could be pasture-raised, organic. Eggs, same thing. You'll notice the color of the yolks. I'm telling you, the difference between cage-free, pasture-raised is very different than your caged eggs. So those are much healthier. Why? Because in the ones that are farm raised, they feed them grains, and the ones, you know, they're not going to have as much nutrients. First of all, fish that are wild caught have much more omega-3. Beef that's grass fed, higher in omega-3, but also the stuff that they feed them that goes into your food.
Right.
And you're eating all that GMO feed.
Corn.
Yeah, they're trying to fatten them up with like GMO corn. You want to stay away
you
from
don't
that.
You don't really sit and think about it, but what the animal's eating, that's what you're going to be eating.
Yeah.
Because you're eating that animal, right? So you have to be very selective with the animal protein that you're going to be eating, because you're eating what they're eating.
Right.
So you want to make sure that they have the best quality possible.
Yeah. I think this was a good introduction to substitutions. Obviously, there's a lot more details.
Yes, this was just a little taste.
Yeah. But, you know, we're here. You can always contact us. We're here to help. You know, we're here to make the world a healthier place.
Right.
So if you ever have questions during your 7-day health reset, we're here to help.
Right.
The booklet, sorry, go ahead.
No, also I was going to say, like, you have the internet at your fingertips. You literally type in gluten-free dessert, and like 1,000 billion million recipes come up. It's so easy these days. We've got our Google, you got Siri, you got Alexa.
Absolutely.
You have like so many options at your fingertips, besides for, of course, us that would love to help.
Yeah. I mean, thank God we live in this day and age. There's not only we can help, there's so many Facebook groups out there.
Oh yeah, so many groups.
Yeah.
It's amazing. There's a plethora of knowledge, so we have to just go out there, find it, seek it.
Yeah.
And use it.
And in the 7-day health reset book, you're going to find a lot of substitutions also. You're going to find the ingredients that are great for you and ingredients that are not so great.
Right.
There's plenty of foods that are delicious, that are nutritious too.
Yeah.
So I think we can wrap this up.
Yep.
And we'll go on to the next topic after this.
All right. Bye. See you next time.